Are you getting calls from debt collectors that you've never heard of and you're wondering, is this my debt? Is it legitimate? And you're wondering how to send a dispute letter to dispute the debt. It's stressful and annoying facing all this debt. So we built a free debt dispute letter that basically just tells the creditor, you need to validate and prove that this is my debt. The letter also doubles down to stop debt collectors. So let's get started, and I wanna show you exactly how to do it. Welcome to the Ascend YouTube channel, where we cover complex topics such as debt and debt disputes and break it down into human, simple, understandable language. Here's what we're going to cover in this video today. First, we're going to cover just a walkthrough of the free debt dispute letter that generally takes about 2 to 3 minutes. And if you don't want to watch the video or the walkthrough, we include a link in the description below so you can just access that immediately. It's just a free PDF download of the debt dispute letter. Second, we're going to cover, should you dispute the debt? Because maybe not every debt should be disputed. The third thing we're going to go over is 3 options to get rid of your debt quickly. So let's say it's your debt. You're like, okay, I don't want to dispute it. Well, how do I get rid of it? How do I get out of it, right? We're going to cover that in the third thing. And finally, we're going to cover this question is like, should you hire someone to dispute the debt? Maybe an attorney or a company to do that for you. So before I begin, I want to also say that your situation is unique. My goal is to answer all your questions, but if I don't, please comment. I try to answer them very quickly. And if this is helpful and you're trying to figure out how to get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster, we create content a lot. So please, I encourage you to consider subscribing, because we really just want to help people get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster with unbiased information. So let's go ahead and get started. To access the letter generator, you're going to go to the description below. I'm going to actually do it on my computer so you kind of walk through and see how to do it. So first, I see a screen that basically says like debt dispute and stop debt collector letter generator. It's completely free. It takes maybe 1 to 3 minutes. And the thing is that it's actually based on the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau template that you can find if you click on this link there. So once you click get started, it's going to ask you basically, what is your current address? So I'm just going to type in 1234 Main Street, because that seems like a pretty common address. I'm going to put in San Jose. That is where we are at. And then basically, what is your zip code? I'll put 95123. So after you do that, you just click next. And then what is the name of your debt collector? So that should be, whoever's calling you, whoever's sending your mailer. I'm gonna put in not nice debt collector. Just try to be a little fun. Do you know the address? If you click no, we can actually help you probably get the address for you. So you can just text or call us and say, hey, I don't know the address to this debt collector. But we're gonna assume that you do know the address. So we're gonna say it is 123 Not Nice Way. The city is Gotham, and the zip code is 191191. So now all you have to do is basically just get the information from your debt collector, just so that you can have that on the actual letter that you download. You're gonna click next, and then if you have an account number, you can add it there. We'll just add some random numbers here just for the sake of it. Let's say, what is the date that your debt collector contacted you? So we'll just put that they contacted you, got a mailer, the mailer was dated 4/26. And how were you initially contacted? I'm gonna put mail here just so that it's pretty easy. You get a mailer, you're saying they're saying this is your debt, and you're saying, no, it's not my debt. So we're gonna put mail there. Now this is basically asking you what you want the debt collector to do for you, right? The letter that you're going to generate is going to have different things based on what you want it to say, right? So if you want it to have, debt collectors stop contacting, validate, dispute, right? So I'm going to say, I don't want the debt collector to contact me anymore. I also want the debt collector to validate the debt, and I'm also going to be disputing the debt, basically everything from that letter. Next, I'm going to click next. Next, it asks you whether you want to access to our free portal. We basically built this free hardship portal to help you get out of debt, and get out of all this hardship at once, and try to track your debt disputes and all your other different things. So I'm gonna put yes, and then do you have the ability to PDF, print and mail? I'm gonna put no. There's some things that we're gonna, actually I'll put yes on this. There's actually some things that we could potentially help with that. So that's what kind of why I asked that question that we're gonna build later on. So then you click next. Okay, so next it's going to have your your information. I'm going to say my name is Dave Johnson, and it's going to be trysend.plus/dispute@gmail.com. It might also ask for your phone number. I'm not sure why exactly it's not asking it for here. But next I'm going to click submit. And so what this is going to do is it's going to generate a letter for you. And so right here, you're just going to click, you can just open and download this. And then you can actually just look over it and then mail it as well. Once you download it, let me see if I can open it on my screen here. So next you can just check your downloads, and then you can actually see the letter itself, kind of what it's saying. We're disputing the debt. Record that I dispute having any obligation. If you forward this email to debt, please indicate to them that this is disputed. And then please basically provide information about why you do not owe that debt. There's two other things that you need to know here. One is that you can use our free portal, like I said, to stop all debt collector calls or manage your debt collections process and make sure that everyone's going. You can just manage them all in one place. And then if you're kind of like, I want to resolve this debt, we built this free debt relief calculator that you can take right here. That basically, it just gives you your options, how much they cost, the pros and cons. So like, okay, how much is it if I wanted to resolve the debt, dispute the debt, or resolve the debt, settle the debt, file bankruptcy, all those options you can choose right here. And if you want to go to the portal, all you have to do is actually click go to portal, and it'll actually take you to the debt collection stopping portal. It has this list of things that you can do to stop your debt collections, resolve your debt, and then also fix your credit. The idea of this portal was we were trying to figure out a way that we can help you get out of your financial hardship for free. So all of these things on here are free. And then you can actually put your different debt collectors here, and you can actually add who you want to stop and how to stop them. But this is completely just another tool if you're interested. One of the questions we get all the time, but we're going to cover right now, is should you actually dispute the debt? Now, if the debt is valid and you owe the debt, then it may not make sense to dispute the debt, because if the debt is valid and it's just that you just don't want to pay it or something else, like maybe it's Chase that sent it to a debt collector that you've never heard of. The creditor is often able to do that. Chase is a big bank, so they can send it to whoever they want to send it to. Probably a debt collector that is reputable. Obviously, it needs to be reputable, but they have the option to do that, right? So if you're like, I've never heard of Midland Funding or Portfolio Recovery, so I'm going to dispute this debt because I don't think that they, transferred the account right to this company. That's pretty far-fetched, right? Now, the thing is that maybe the debt can be disputed, right? But more often than not, these companies have things in place for when people dispute the debt so that they can't dispute the debt, right? So if you're just wanting to look at your credit report and say, I'm disputing all this debt, you may just be wasting time, right? Because they might come back and say, oh yeah, this is all legitimate, right? Now, if the debt you don't recognize, or, let's say the naming is off, right? Or it's someone else. Maybe it's a spouse or ex-spouse or something like that, right? Then maybe you have a case there, right, to dispute it, and that makes sense to dispute it. But, it's always comes down to, what's kind of best for your situation. You understand that. So I think that you have the, whatever's best for your situation. So next we're going to cover like 3 options to get out of the debt quickly, right? So what do you do if you have this debt and you want to get rid of it, and maybe you've disputed it and it came back valid, it's within the statute of limitation, and the debt collector may try to sue you, right? So what do you exactly do? There's probably going to be 3 main options to get out of the debt quickly. The first is probably going to be debt management, where they're trying to negotiate the interest rates. And again, our debt resolution calculator, that I'll also include a link in the description below, actually will go through each one of your options specific to your information so that you can understand your options. It's going to cover the cost, the duration, and the pros and cons of each of these options. And so that's a free resource we also build just to help you kind of understand your options. But the main options are going to be debt management, where a company is going to be trying to negotiate the interest rate. This is often done with nonprofit companies, right? The next one is debt negotiation, where a debt negotiation company or you could negotiate the balances on the account. So with debt management, they're trying to negotiate the interest rates. With debt negotiation, they're trying to negotiate the balances. Generally, with debt negotiation, you might save more than debt management, and the monthly payment may be smaller. The last one that a lot of people want to avoid, but it's a completely legal debt relief option, is bankruptcy, right? File bankruptcy. There's Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Chapter 7 is often much cheaper and faster than Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you do have to qualify, which our calculator can estimate that for you. But when you do Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you can get out of debt, the debt in 3 to 4 months, and it's usually like a one-time fee. All in, it can be very reasonable, and most attorneys will take payment plans. So those are kind of the main options. If you have any questions about those, please comment below. But that's going to be kind of the main options to get out of the debt quickly. So the final question I want to cover is, like, should you hire a debt dispute company? And You know what, honestly, like this is stuff that you can maybe do yourself. And I've seen a lot of people that have, hired debt invalidation or debt dispute companies, that basically companies just sending out mailers. In one instance, we had a gal that, she signed up this debt invalidation company similar to like debt dispute. She's paying them to invalidate $28,000 debt. She's paying like over $200 for 72 months. And these companies seems to just be sending out mailers just like she could do herself with a free template. So I'm not sure if I would do it personally, but if you've had a great experience, please comment below, because I'd love to hear people that have had a great experience with these debt dispute companies. Personally, it's something you could potentially do yourself. But yeah, if you've had a great experience, I'd love to hear. Thanks so much for watching this video on debt dispute letters and kind of how to use them. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.